can you talk a little bit about how you all get along now?
Yes, I thank you for that question because I hope that my story will give hope to other families that may be struggling. As I mentioned, my former husband and I see the world through different lenses. I'm a more optimistic, possible person. He's a more perspective coming from what he describes as real life, actual. So it shows up as a little less positive, to put it kindly.
Very gracious.
And so when we first divorced, those barriers, that wedge was wide, and we both had taught ourselves how we were to feel if the other one interrupted our flow of the way we thought, if that makes sense. And so what that did is it caused a lot of arguments. It's just a lot of arguments and a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and we had a very, very difficult time communicating with each other for, I want to say, the first 3-4 years. It was hard. And it showed
the first
up
3 or 4 years after your marriage?
After
ended?
The divorce.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we were still in court, as you will read in the book. My daughter talks about that. And so it frustrated me. I'm sure that it frustrated him, and it absolutely showed up as a negative atmosphere for our children. Mm-hmm. And so in this journey of becoming who I am today, which is a very happy, positive, fun, I love life today, I decided that I just didn't want to have this continued relationship because, as I want to share with your listeners, my aha moment came when I realized that my former husband and I were forever parents for our children. It wasn't just until they were 18. It wasn't just until the divorce was over. It wasn't just until a certain event happened. It was forever. Mm-hmm. And embracing that definition told me that I can't have someone that I am so aligned with, even if we're not married, that I can't talk to them. And they can't talk to me because it's just going to be an unworkable situation, and it won't get better. It'll get worse.
Correct.
And so I went on a very specific campaign to do the first thing, which was to look at my own behavior. What is it that caused my triggers to happen? What was I guilty about? What did I need to forgive myself for? What did I need to do to learn how to communicate clearly? Because he's a lawyer, so I needed to say my words in a certain way that they could be understood, but yet my meaning didn't get lost in the dictionary. And
Not
so
an easy task.
No, it really wasn't. So I did a lot of work on myself first, and that's where I had to start because the only person's behavior that I truly can control is myself.
Right, and that's on a good day.
I had to find for me the truth of where are the good things that my former husband has done throughout our time. What are the things that I can be proud of about him and move myself away from the things that made me angry or the things that made me sad or the things that caused me to not want to talk to him. And so once I did that, I was able to come from a loving place anytime I interacted with him. And what I found was it just shifted the energy between us now. Was it better immediately? Oh, absolutely not. It was a persistent thought and effort. It was mental gymnastics for me. Have to say, oh, gosh, I'm angry. Okay, no, yes, you're angry. Recognize you're angry, but what are you going to do with that? Okay, calm down, breathe, and then talk.
Good for you.
And so now, Sara, I am truly proud to say that 6 years later, we are now in front of a third-party counselor helping us communicate differently, understand what it is that we're trying to say. And he is a willing participant, as am I. It is still not perfect, but it is a lot better.
Good for you. Good for you. That's quite an inspirational story for folks who struggle to get along with the person that they don't want any kind of relationship with anymore. Excellent words to live by.
Thank you. I really hope for many families, because if you can do it for yourself so that your life is more peaceful, you found a way to have joy in your life, you've found a way to put that negative, angry, jealous, frustrated energy aside and really truly let it go. The beneficiaries of that, the people that will benefit the most, are your children, because what they see from that is that, yeah, mom's frustrated, dad's frustrated, they didn't like each other, but yet they found a way to work together. And that bodes very well for your children and their own personal relationships as well as the ones with you.
Absolutely, personal, professional, any kind, because we all have to interact with people that aren't our favorites on a regular basis.
Mhm.
Excellent.